Hello everybody, and welcome to another Dota game. It's been a minute since I've brought you a cast, but here I am. I haven't forsaken you. I have just been getting started. I've had a little bit of time to recuperate, hanging out with friends, but now I'm back to cast some Dota. Yeah, fuck yeah, because guess what? From this date, I'm casting this on a Monday, so technically there are only 2 more days until the beginning of the biggest Dota tournament of all time, one of the biggest esports tournaments in terms of prize payouts of all time, the Dota 2 GAMESCON tournament sponsored by Valve, and I am very, very excited. And to sort of tide you over to that, this ought to tide you over, Naga Siren style. Fuck yeah. Or was that Sardar? Anyway, enough of the bad Warcraft 3 references, because Dota 2 is coming out, and they're gonna have new, very, very corny jokes to say once the heroes move, I'm sure. Anyway, this is a game between seppo13, a Finnish team, and the Retry, a Russian team, of course. Retry, known as PGG plus 4, although Vayne has become a pretty stable member, so now it's PGG plus Vayne plus 3 most of the time. And guess who the plus 3 includes this time? Guess, do you see this name? Do you see this name? It's not hidden by my user bar? Yeah, you guessed it, it's fucking Vigoss, everybody. And this game is just to sort of remind you all of what we're gonna miss at the GamesCon tournament, because we all know it's gonna be epic, but we are gonna miss some very, very important fan favorites, including PGG and Vigoss. The Retry, of course, was not invited to the GamesCon tourney, and I think Vigoss's teammate has broken apart or something, and even then, I don't think either team was too stable enough to make it to be invited to GamesCon when the invitations were probably sent out. This is just a while ago, it's probably a month and a half ago. But anyway, into the game. So, Seppo has banned Weaver. Just swarm, you have to stand there and kill the bugs, or you just take damage slowly over time, draining your armor, and of course, a 3000 range cast is not really fair in any situation, but especially on a hero with Weaver, who can survive through almost any circumstance and can do a lot of damage with his Gemini attack once he gets plus damage. Doombringer, his Doom is one of the most incredibly powerful skills in all of Dota, as you all know. That's why it's in his name, and he can be countered against. I've seen push strats work very, very well against him. And Batrider, one of my favorite heroes personally, but he is not considered fair. He is considered overpowered. And that makes me sad, because we don't see a lot of Batrider players. I really like Batrider because he's annoying to play against, and I like heroes that piss y'all off. Anyway, we have a ban by Lycanthrope. This is version 6.72e, so this might... I'm not too sure. I think this is a version where Lycanthrope has been nerfed. I'm not too sure. You can correct me on that. But this isn't the most recent version. I think the most recent version was fixing a bug change. But if so, then Lycanthrope has been nerfed. So his wolves are still, and it's a really powerful DPS mechanism, and they haven't been nerfed into as much as they have been nerfed. Sorry, have been nerfed. Anyway, after I've said have been nerfed 800 times, let's go on to the next ban. Invoker. Very versatile hero, can dominate a lane, just provides so much crowd control in team fights with his EMP Tornado, and once he gets enough levels, he can just cast his whole repertoire of spells. Although I haven't seen Invoker winning too much of late, because this version has been mostly based upon faster games. Either a fast push strat fails, and the fast carry team wins, and if not, the push strat wins. And so Invoker doesn't really get to his full potential in terms of levels. So Invoker does need a lot of levels in order to be truly effective, but he's still a beast, even up to level 11 or 13, I don't know, play the hero, with his Quaswex build, which is the standard build we see these days. And Shadow Demon, just a strong hero to play against. Of course, you can push against him, but I guess neither team wants to push very hard. They want to go for a ganking or a teamfight-oriented lineup. Meanwhile, we see Enigma and Pugna being banned. Let's talk about the picks for a sec. Seppo picked up Ancient Apparition. He shuts down so many strategies. He shuts down push strats by himself single-handedly. I think one of the most unfortunate things that he shut down is a lot of mass heal strats. I think Necrolite, Witch Doctor with his Voodoo Restoration. Even he shuts down Chen Ultimate and Mechanism in team fights, which is pretty broken in an ultimate that can cast every 45 seconds. So Ancient Apparition not being banned but being picked instead. It's a little bit surprising to me. Lich, of course, a fantastic lane control hero, can deny so much of the opposing lane's experience, and his Chain Frost is a very, very powerful mechanism in all of these team fights that, especially in these early game team fights, these games have been dragging off too long, so Chain Frost will usually stay effective for quite a while until the other team gets really, really tank. And Spirit Breaker, a rather underutilized hero, but he is certainly very powerful. He has high move speed, he can gank pretty much anywhere, and he can tank to some degree, being a strength hero, and he doesn't really need Blink Dagger to provide his initiation, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the Sentinel utilize him. Will they gank with him? Will they try to team fight with him? Usually Spirit Breaker works best in a global gang strat because he can charge and AA can throw down an Ice Blast, and bam, that hero probably has a next to zero chance of surviving. Meanwhile, the Scourge pick up Clockwork. If we're going to see Vigoss Clockwork, that is going to be so fun. Like, you're just going to hear me go, ow, ow, and just have waves of pleasure come all over myself. That didn't. It'll be very, very fun to watch. Sorry, just forget you heard that other part. Anyway, we see Earthshaker, extremely strong. He's a pretty good laning hero, and he can gank. He just provides a lot of good things in heroes. Enigma, Enchantress being banned, powerful jungle heroes, so it looks like Seppo doesn't want to fight anybody coming out of the jungle on the retry. And Pugna and Windrunner being banned. Pugna, of course, can counter Obsidian Destroyer pretty well with his Nether Ward, because Obsidian Destroyer does use a shit ton of mana. And Obsidian Destroyer is a hero we've been seeing some play in the European scene. It's a little bit of play in the Asian scene a little while ago with Mushi and Yamate playing Obsidian Destroyer, but he's sort of been only popular in the European scene recently. Not even too popular, he's sort of there. He's there. He's like that guy in the corner who you know is just sort of like watching you. You don't really know what to say to him, but you know he's there. He's just keeping an eye out on you. So Obsidian Destroyer requires a lot of mana, and he requires, I think, a little bit too much farm, so that's probably why the reason he hasn't been seeing too much play. He requires HP, he requires mana, a disable, so that requires a lot of, and he requires a lot of levels, so he definitely needs a solo lane. And the good thing is that he can dominate a solo lane pretty effectively. So with Windrunner and Pugna being denied to them, Seppo will pick up a Puck to solo their long lane. Of course, now with the Puck pick, it's going to be clear that they're going to go for more of a team fight, because Dream Coil along with Chain Frost and Ice Blast is just an amazing team fight combination that can destroy teams by themselves. And it's just going to be very, very tough to fight 5v5 against this sort of team fight team. And meanwhile, the Scourge, the retry pickup Crystal Main, strong support. Of course, Brilliant Star will help Earthshaker, Clockwork, and especially Obsidian Destroyer, because if Obsidian Destroyer doesn't max mana or essence aura in the beginning, Brilliant Star will give Obsidian Destroyer mana that he needs in the early game, and that cannot be discounted. So we'll see what sort of build Obsidian Destroyer goes. I've been told this is a very action-heavy game, so please do not be too angry if I miss a lot of kills or if I miss the skill builds, but I'm just going to try to catch as many kills as possible, because it is a retry game with a Vigoss Clockwork, I'm guessing, and it should be hella fun. So, last pick, Razor. So this provides a little bit of a laning conundrum. Looks like they're going to have Razor solo mid and have a tri-lane with the Spirit Breaker bottom and Puck solo top. Razor is usually really strong in the tri-lane. Of course, his nuke hits everybody in the tri-lane, but I think he can handle himself okay against Obsidian Destroyer if he gets unstable current, of course, and just shock the Obsidian Destroyer every time the Obsidian Destroyer Astral imprisons the Razor. And if he can get a static link off on the Obsidian Destroyer, he can drain away a lot of the damage, and Obsidian Destroyer is pretty much the only DPS that the Scourge have. So let's see what the Scourge do for the last pick. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit and see what they do. So, hello to all my new viewers. It's very nice having you. If you've been visiting my channel for the first time, I hope you enjoy this new game. It's been a couple days, but I'm back, and I have not forsaken thee. I am here to bring you more Dota. So, last pick was a Visage, who has been falling out of favor a lot recently, and I'm going to unspeed it and pause for just a little bit. So we're going to see Aeroswar on the Crystal Main. We're going to see MC on the Earthshaker. I'm going to guess that's Vigoss on the Clockwork. Going to see Vayne on the Visage. Visage has been falling out of favor because jungle strats have been more popular these days and more roaming. So Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane has not been as popular as usual. But he's still a very effective hero in the mid game. Of course, his birds comboed with the rockets can give the global map presence that most teams would love to have. So PGG is playing the Obsidian Destroyer. Meanwhile, on the Sentinel, we're going to have Matkadavara on the Lich, Marge Triple K on the Razor. We're going to have Bouncy Feeling on the Puck, Garzag on the Spirit Breaker, and seppo13 on the Ancient Apparition. So, I'm going to guess the Razor is going to go into the mid lane, the Tri-Lane's going to be bottom, and have Clockwork face the Puck one-on-one in the top lane. This is just a wild guess. Yeah, no, but it seriously is a wild guess, so let's see how it works. So I'm going to unpause, and let's get into this game. So if you've noticed something different from this video, you might notice that there's no mediocre introduction, and that's because I'm working on a newer, even more mediocre introduction, and you guys will be extremely happy to see the mediocrity that is presented by my extremely fantastic editing skills and just overall brilliance. I'm just a brilliant person in general. So the reason why I'm changing the introduction is because hopefully when this video gets uploaded, this will be one full solid video, one giant chunk of video pleasure for all of you guys. And now I know what you're thinking, but don't think that. Just because I said the word pleasure doesn't mean you have to get your mind into the gutter. So stop it. Stop it. I know what you're thinking. I can read into your thoughts. I can see into your soul. And it's not cool. Not cool. Anyway. And furthermore, if all goes according to plan, if iMovie won't be annoying prick to me, then this movie should be in HD. I didn't do HD in my other cast because on my software I'd have to render each part into HD individually, and that would take 2 hours pretty much for each part, so a total of 8 hours, which is just very unreasonable. But with one full part it will take a while, but excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that sneezing. Sorry if I deafened you. I will actually try to edit this out, but if it doesn't, then I'll tone down the sneezing in that part. So yeah, we saw some damage go on to the Crystal Main. The Crystal Main salves up, and we didn't see Vayne throw down a Soul Assumption. Meanwhile, there's a bit of an engagement up top. Vigoss is hitting down the puck pretty hard, and I don't know what this puck is doing. He gets hit by the tower. Vigoss wanted to get one more hit and throw down a rocket maybe, but Vigoss is going to be denied, so puck is already at very low HP. So that'll give Vigoss a pretty solid early lane advantage, but I expect as puck heals up that he will in fact regain the lane. I'm going to expect to be a lot of action in the bottom lane and in the top lane. I'm not going to concentrate on the mid lane as much. I expect Razor to lose to Obsidian Destroyer, but Razor can hold his own. He won't probably die to the Obsidian Destroyer, although he will get hurt down by experience, and the last hit's pretty hard by PGG's Obsidian Destroyer. So yeah, so hopefully, back to my earlier rant, this will be in HD quality, because now that each video is one giant chunk and I don't have to split into parts, I can render it in HD and it will all be very fantastic. So if all goes according to plan, you will see a 720p bar on your YouTube browser. And if you see a 480p or negative 200 quality with 800 different parts to each video, you will know, you will take comfort, you'll take solace in the fact that somewhere in the United States I am slitting my wrists and crying myself to sleep in a corner. So anyway, we're going to have Spirit Breaker versus Visage farming. Spirit Breaker is getting an early advantage, but I think the Scourge Tri-Lane is a bit more powerful in terms of killing. Of course, there are Visage in any Tri-Lane is just going to be very powerful in killing in general. Meanwhile, Vigoss gets hated down by the puck quite a bit. His puck is at 6-0, Vigoss is at 7-2. Let's see, I don't want to miss any action because this is a retry game. And I've heard that this game gets so many kills. So Lich just now skills Dark Ritual, which is very surprising. He got Frost Nova first. Oh, he probably, when he saw the early game advantage, early game gank, he waited to put a point in. So that's smart. I mean, if they wanted to catch somebody out of position, placing a ward, then having a Frost saving your skill point. But meanwhile, Lich gets jumped upon, Cold Feet is thrown down, but Vayne should get a nuke off. He does, but if he get one more hit, he gets attacks once more, and he does get first blood on the Lich. So, nice play by Vayne, picking up a kill, and Barathorm has to be careful because the other two supports are claritying up, gonna have enough mana. Unfortunate block by Amzi, and Spearbreaker will escape. And meanwhile, Vayne will pick up some boots with that first blood gold, maybe get a crow. Meanwhile, PG calls for a save, and Puck still had 6 creep kills.